We spend a lot of time on Living St. Louis exploring, often going to places we've never been before, maybe never heard about. But we also go places that, well, we're all sort of familiar with, but look for things behind the scenes, like what Heidi Glaus found at the St. Louis Zoo.
The St. Louis Zoo is home to hundreds of amazing animals, but at last check, not one of them can read, which is what makes Jill Gordon's job a bit unusual.
Most people don't know that the zoo has a library.
She's the zoo librarian.
We probably have around 6,000 volumes now.
A post she's held since this kind of hidden library opened in 1989.
Most of the books are here in this space, but we have satellite collections at the veterinary hospital. Most of the veterinary books are up there. And then our nutrition center has a collection of books.
It is an invaluable resource for the keepers and staff.
Well, the main purpose of the zoo library is to support our education, conservation, and research staff.
What kind of things do they want to know?
Maybe we've got a new animal that needs to be introduced into a group of animals, and they're looking for, there might be other zoos that have written articles about introducing meerkats into a group or something like that.
Name an animal, and Jill can probably pull out a book about it.
It's an antelope called a Duiker, and somebody has spent their whole life, I guess, making this book.
This is also a place that's open to the public by appointment.
We do get a lot of questions about zoo history, and then we also have people that are wanting to identify something that they saw in their yard.
And Jill can answer both.
We use our Missouri Department of Conservation publication on amphibians and reptiles of Missouri a lot.
The more unique items are kept behind locked doors.
This is where we have some of the guidebooks from the early days of the zoo.
This leather-bound book was printed in 1926.
So you can see things were very different back then. That's one of the food stands. Those are people gathered around our old sea lion basin.
There are pictures of the original elephant house and quite possibly the most popular animal to ever call the St. Louis Zoo home.
People ask about Phil all the time. We had giant pandas here from 1939 to 1952. So this was Happy and Bao Bay.
There are old postcards in pristine shape.
This is a postcard set from 1944.
And boxes of early zoo documents, including a Miss Jim certificate.
The school children collected pennies, and they were used to purchase our first elephant, Miss Jim.
Now, what makes this a true St. Louis treasure is that beyond the books, there's something called Suitcases, which are a great resource for teachers.
They have things like books, videos, puppets, models. Some of our kits have what we call biofacts, which are the animal artifacts like a skull or a turtle shell.
Cases even include activity sheets for the students.
It makes it easy for teachers. We have everything, pulled together already.
All they have to do is reserve it and pick it up.
This is our Arctic wildlife suitcase. We have a lot of pictures of different Arctic animals. We also have a packet of pictures of our own polar bear collie.
Some containers even have puppets and puppet show scripts.
There's a walrus.
So it might be one of the smallest libraries in St. Louis, but its impact is big.
I feel so privileged to work with all the keepers and vets and researchers who are doing such great work and are so dedicated to caring for the zoo animals.